Good evening. It's Thanksgiving Thursday. Um, Happy Thanksgiving. I'm going to talk tonight about the issue of doing it wrong in art. Now, I've mentioned in previous talks about the difference in psychology between a science student and a humanities student and an art student. And the science student, in particular, absolutely knows what it is to do it wrong. Science and math, there is the correct answer. And what's more to the point, uh, particularly in math problems where they want you to show your work, is that there is a correct way to get to the correct answer. Or perhaps, if they're being lenient, they will give you credit for doing it the right way, but then having some tiny little error result in an answer that's either slightly or wildly wrong. Okay, that's science. In humanities, usually, if you have read the material and write a well constructed paper or exam and have at least adequate ideas about the material, you're okay. Most of the time, the professor isn't expecting a specific answer with a specific checklist of points. Some professors do. That can be virtuous or not, depending. I had one teacher who was a total train wreck because if you didn't have all the answers exactly as she wanted them, you were scum of the earth. So, but the point is that you have some leeway. There's more than one way to be right, or at least to be interesting. Whether you're right or not. And then you get to art. And okay, I'm going to focus on ceramics. So if my assignment is four mugs, and you make four objects that will hold coffee and have a handle, probably they'll come across as mugs, and you've done what you needed to do. Um, there may be aspects about them are wrong, and there at the one Ansica conference, there was someone who wanted a rubric. She wanted a hard and fast rubric about how to grade things. And what we worked out with was, there's meeting the assignment, there's varying degrees of better than meeting the assignment, and then there's minor flaws, major flaws, and the one she loved, which was fatal flaws. Okay, the fatal flaw makes somehow the four mugs not succeed. Okay, so the easy one is you don't have four. The next one is they all leak, or they have savage sharp bits that cut you to pieces. Whatever, fatal flaws. That does not meet the assignment. I see that you made the attempt. You get credit for having made the attempt. I worry about your judgment that you turned in these savage bits of ugliness to meet the assignment. So, okay, so you have a lot of leeway as a ceramics student. Usually, because usually the professor isn't giving you a really, really, really narrowly focused assignment. Unlike some people who commission art from artists. And I had one in particular who had a very, very specific idea about what she wanted for a pair of lamp bases. And I don't normally make lamp bases, but I was short on money, and she seemed nice. She was nice. I wasn't really impressed with her design, but she'd apparently been thinking about it for a while, so I did it. And when I did it, and when they were done, she had to admit they were hideous. So in that case, I had been correct. I had done them right in the sense that I had matched her vision, but we had both done them wrong in that her vision and my going along with it was just heinous. They were just ugly. Um, And it's a big reason in my mind to not take commissions, because you can do something badly, you can have something turn out other than what you intended, you can have something turn out in a way you had no way of expecting. Okay, but you don't tend to do it wrong. There isn't that sense of, no, that's not a mug. No, it's a mug. It may not be the one I was hoping for. It may not be the one that I had thought the kiln would give me, but it's a mug. Okay, and that's fine if it's just table stock. And someday somebody will say, "Oh, that's an odd one. Can I buy that?" And that's all fine, except when you have a commission. Except when someone, potentially who's not an artist, has this sense of what's right and wrong, and that you've made it wrong. And that can't help but be painful. That's not what we go into art to do. We don't go into art to make wrong objects, and we don't get to go into art to be told that our perfectly fine objects are wrong because somebody else had something in mind. And I guess the long and the short of it is as artists, we should be really, really careful when we take commissions. And we should be very clear to our customers about how much precision we're offering and how much leeway they're offering. And in some ways, the more specific their vision, the less alluring the commission. So, good luck with it. Have a good evening.